Hi all of you, myself Dr. Anand Muchandi. Here we are going to study the some terminologies or the terms which are related to the anatomy. Here the terms are very commonly used in the anatomy and it is necessary to understand the meaning of those terms, and by that we can get the knowledge regarding the anatomy. So we will continue here. So the normal anatomical position, it is very necessary for your practical aspect. So the points are: the person should stand straight, keeping his limbs together or slightly apart, as if we are seeing in this picture, and keeping his feet flat on the floor, and the toes should be facing forwards or anteriorly. The two upper limbs or the hands should be facing forwards and keeping by the sides of the body. The two palms should be facing forwards. The position of the thumb of the upper limb or the hand should be pointed away from the body or away from the midline, that is on the lateral aspect of the body. And the last one is the heads and the eyes should be facing anteriorly or forwards. And next point is very important, that is the supine and prone position of the person or the body. Here the supine as well as prone position means, in an anatomical position, if a person sleeps on his back on the floor, if the person sleeps on his back, that is the face, abdomen and chest, the face, abdomen and chest facing upwards, that is the supine position. And if the person sleeps in his anatomical position on his chest and abdomen, that is the back facing upwards, that is known as prone position. The next point is anatomical planes. Here the planes are nothing but the imaginary lines through which we can divide the body into the two equal halves. So the first one is median or sagittal plane. So the median or the sagittal plane, this is a median or sagittal plane, that is it is an imaginary line which divides the body into the two equal halves as the right half and the left half. And second is coronal plane. This is a coronal plane which divides the body into the two equal halves as the anterior half and the posterior half, or front side half 50%, back side 50% of the body. And the third one is transverse plane or the horizontal plane. This is an imaginary line which divides the body into the two equal halves as the upper half of the body and lower half of the body. So here we are going to study all the three planes. So the first one is median plane or the sagittal plane. This is an imaginary line which divides the right half and left half of the body. And second is transverse plane, an imaginary line which divides the upper half of the body and lower half of the body. And the third one is frontal plane or the coronal plane, which divides the anterior half and posterior half of the body. So this is the study regarding the planes. So the planes are nothing but the imaginary lines which divides the body into the two equal halves. So the next term or the next point is terms of location. By that we are going to study the terms which are related to the location or which are going to identify the location of the different parts of the body. So the first one is anterior or the ventral. Here both are synonyms. Anterior means this thing, the second picture, that is the person or the body which is facing forwards or which is facing towards us, or in other words it is also known as ventral aspect of the body, that is the parts which are facing towards us or the parts which are facing forwards, that is known as anterior or ventral. And next is posterior or dorsal, which is facing away from us, or which is facing backwards, that is the posterior or dorsal aspect of the body. Here superior means the cranial end, or which is towards the cranium, or which is towards the head. Inferior means which is far away from the head, or which is towards the tail end, or which is towards the lowermost part of the body. Medial means which is towards the midline or center of the body. Lateral, which is far away from the midline, or which is far away from the center of the body. Proximal, nearer to its attachment or nearer to its root. Distal, which is far away from the root. Superficial and deep. Superficial means which is nearer to the surface of the body, or which is nearer to the surface of the skin. Deep, which is far away from the surface of the body, or which is deep inside the body. Here we will see one by one. Superior means which is towards the head, which is towards the superior means which is towards the head. This thing, this is a superior and this is inferior. And medial, which is towards the midline, and lateral, which is away from the midline. Proximal, which is towards the root. In the upper limb, the root is the shoulder, and in the lower limb, the root is the groin region. So this is the proximal and this is the distal end. And here in the upper limb, this is the proximal end, and the digits or the wrist is known as the distal end. And next, superficial and deep. So superficial, which is towards the skin, or which is towards the surface of the body, and deep, which is deep inside the body, or which is far away from the skin, that is superficial and deep. Now unilateral, bilateral, ipsilateral and contralateral. Here unilateral means which is on the single side of the body. Unilateral means which is on the single side of the body, either it may be the left side or right side. Bilateral means which is on the both side of the body, on left side as well as right side. And next, ipsilateral means on the same side of the body, on both upper limbs and lower limbs. And contralateral means which is on the opposite side of the body, on upper limb and lower limb. So ipsilateral means on the same side of the body, the right arm and the right leg are ipsilateral, which are on the same side. Contralateral means the right arm and left leg, which are opposite to each other. So this is the ipsilateral and contralateral. Here we will see the different terms used in the movements of the joints. The first one is flexion and extension. Flexion means, or flex means to bend. Extend means to extend or to straighten the. So the flexion and extension of elbow joint and wrist joint. This is the elbow joint and this is wrist joint. Flexion means to bend the joint at the particular position. So flexion of elbow joint means to bend the elbow joint. Extension of elbow joint means to straighten or to extend the elbow joint. And here the wrist joint, to flex, which is to bend at the wrist joint, which is to extend, or which is to extend the wrist joint. So here the flexion and extension of hip and knee joint has been explained. The hip joint has been flexed or bent, and knee joint is also flexed in the first picture. And in the second picture, There is a flexion at the hip joint and extension or straightening of the knee joint. The dorsiflexion and the plantar flexion means to uplift the limb or the foot at the ankle joint, to raise the foot and to drop the foot. To raise the foot at the ankle joint, it is known as dorsiflexion. To drop the foot at the ankle joint is known as plantar flexion. Next one is abduction and adduction. Abduction means to move the limbs away from the midline. This is the abduction. And to move the limbs or the fingers at the towards the center is known as adduction. To bring back to the normal position is known as adduction, and to raise or to move the limbs externally or laterally is known as abduction. Medial and lateral rotation. Medial rotation means to rotate the limb with respect to medial line or the midline towards the midline, and away from the midline to rotate the limb, that is lateral rotation. From inner to outer side rotation, that is lateral rotation. From outer to inner side, it is medial rotation. Next is circumduction. To flex and extend the upper limb as well as lower limb and to rotate from away from the body, that is circumduction. Next is apposition and reposition of thumb. It refers only to the thumb. The apposition and reposition, which is only refers to the thumb. Here apposition means to flex or to touch the thumb with any other fingers, that is apposition. And reposition means to bring back into the normal position. Here this is a flexion of thumb, this is extension of thumb, this is adduction, and this is abduction, moving away from the center. This is towards the center and it is extend to straighten the thumb. This is flexion or bending of the thumb. This is apposition, that is apposition of thumb with the little finger, and this is a reposition of the thumb. Next, elevation and depression. Elevation means to uplift the area or to uplift the body part, that is elevation from the normal point, and depression means to drop the part of the body from its normal position. This is depression and this is elevation. Next, protrusion and retrusion of mandible. This refers only to the mandible. Protrusion means to move the lower jaw outside the normal position, that is protrusion. And retrusion means to move the lower jaw or the mandible inside the normal position. Here inversion and eversion of the foot. Here inversion and eversion movements related only to the foot as well as the wrist. So inversion means inward movement of the foot at the ankle joint. Eversion means outward movement of the foot at the ankle joint. Next, the regions of the body. The regions means the anatomical regions or the anatomical places of the body. What are those? The body has been divided into mainly two regions, that is axial region and the appendicular region. Here appendicular is nothing but the appendages, or we may call it as the limbs. There are four limbs, two upper limbs and two lower limbs, and axial means the middle portion of the body, that is the head and neck and trunk. And again here the trunk is divided into the thoracic as well as abdomen. Thoracic and abdomen, and here the thoracic and the abdomen, which are divided by the diaphragm at the center. The limbs, which are four in number, two upper limbs and two lower limbs. The upper limb, which is divided into the five parts, that is the brachium, antebrachium, carpus, manus and digits. The brachium is the region in between the shoulder and the elbow joint. The antebrachium is the region between the elbow to the wrist joint, and the carpus, which is at the wrist joint, which is formed by the 8 small carpal bones as well as the distal end of the radius and ulna bones. Manus, which is the proper hand, that is the distal part of the wrist joint, and digits, nothing but the fingers. The lower limb again, which is divided into the five parts. The first one is thigh, which is in between the hip to the knee joint. Crus, which is in between the knee to the ankle joint. Tarsus, that is at the ankle joint, that is which is having or which is formed by the tarsal bones as well as the distal end of the tibia and fibula joints. Foot, that is the distal part of the ankle joint, and digits, which are nothing but the toes. See here, this is a brachium, this is antebrachium, this is carpus, and this is palm or the digits. And here is it is thigh, it is knee joint, it is crus, and it is tarsus, and this is the digits. And here the thorax, which is consisting of chest as well as abdomen, and this is a pelvic region. Here it comes the diaphragm, which divides the chest as well as thoracic cavity from the abdominopelvic cavity. And now the body cavities. The body which is having the cavity is nothing but the space wherever there is a presence of the organs. So the body cavity, which is mainly divided into the ventral and dorsal. Here ventral means on the anterior aspect, dorsal means on the posterior aspect. So the ventral cavities are thoracic as well as abdominopelvic. Thoracic and abdominopelvic, these two are divided by the diaphragm. And next, dorsal, which is again two types, cranial and vertebral. Cranial means at the head or the brain, and vertebral means the vertebral column. See here, this is a cranial cavity, this is a vertebral cavity, and it is the thoracic cavity, and this is a abdominopelvic cavity. So in the second picture, the thoracic cavity, which is having the mediastinum, heart and the two lungs, and which is divided by the diaphragm to form the abdominopelvic cavity. This is the ventral cavities. These two are the dorsal cavities. And this completes the modern terminologies, anatomical terms which are related to the study. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe, like and share the video.